Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be looking at PEPE Coin again. We're spot on with the TA in the previous video. Let us know down below if you managed to capitalize on that. Let us have a look at what's going on here. So what we were talking about in the previous video was actually looking to come down towards this 1-to-1, and we came down to this area and we did look to reverse here. Now, we have moved up into this typical zone where we'd be looking for this as a five-wave structure to complete. And there's a couple of things which, we need to bear in mind here. So we've hit this 2.618 as well, so this could be another indication that this move could potentially be completed into this high. The internals are suggesting that there potentially could be a little bit more upside here, so we need to discuss that in a second. But if we do look to extend to the upside even further, potentially some zones we could actually see as potential targets would be this 434267. It's unlikely, in my opinion, given the current structure, but we'll have to, discuss that within here. Or alternatively, we could see a additional move up towards this zone of this 0.618, which would be here at this 343957. Now we need to be careful here. The 0.382 is also slightly above us here, which would be this 201333 area. Now that could also be a potential target we might look to hit with this as a fifth wave to the upside. So there's a couple of areas in here. We've met a few of them, so we just need to be cautious that we could actually start to see this drop off. Now, there's two ways that I'm looking at this move now. So, if we've actually completed into this high, what could happen? What we could see is another three-wave move to the downside, looking to actually break down and come back into this zone of this 58918 to this 104224 area. Now, interesting area would basically be this previous fourth wave that we have within here. Looking to actually potentially come back down and retest this zone before looking to push up again if there is an additional fourth and fifth in this manner. Now, we were also discussing in the previous video, the possibility that instead of counting the extensions like this, what we could have is a more simple move where basically what we'd be looking at is just as this is a 1, 2, 3 into this high, this is a fourth, and then looking for that fifth wave to the upside. Now, the problem I have is the internals are saying that this is still not completed. So we need to just be a little bit cautious here. I'm going to discuss some bearish, potential that we could see a breakdown anyway off of this, because the fact is that this move to the upside currently still doesn't have a very good structure. And what this could mean is that what we could have here is something like this as an A, B, and a C. So what we need to be careful of is two things. A, this move could be completed and we break down in a bigger way. If this is a five-wave move in this manner, and we're looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what we could actually start to get here is a much deeper retracement, which would actually look to target out this lower region here of this 53578 to this 26288 region. So that would be quite a significant pullback if this is the case. Now we've got some areas of interest here. The 0.618 would actually be a retest of this zone here. And, this zone we just need to be on the lookout for if we do start to break down in a bigger way. It could mean that we're going to come back down into some of these lower levels here. Okay, so now if we do have this as a fourth and a fifth, it is still possible that, if we fail to achieve the good structure to the upside we're going to talk about in a second, then we could still see a move down here in this manner where instead of looking at this move as a move to the upside that is an impulse, what we could actually have here is something as simple as this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, and then basically from here again 1, 2, 3, 4 with an extension in the fifth. Now this is not my favorite interpretation of it, but if we have actually come to this 1.382 here, which is this 183536. And now what we need to be cautious of is that this is not just an A wave, this is not just a B wave, and then we start to break down in a five-wave move. So the target zone for that five-wave move would be this 91440 area, and then basically between there and the 73305. So this would actually look to bring us potentially back into these previous structures here. Now this could actually look to target out this previous structure over here. So we'll have to keep an eye on it, but basically the idea is the same. What we'd be looking for is that flat correction, looking for this to actually come back down as a fourth wave, and then from this point potentially be looking to break to the upside. So confirmation of this would actually be by breaking down this low here in a five-wave move. What we'd then want to see is basically another five-wave move to the upside if this is actually playing out and we have a flat correction here. But really what we'd want to see here if we do have a flat is a deeper rejection here, starting to break down and actually looking to sweep these lows here, because expanding flats are more common than running flats in this case. What we'd be looking for is that initially, and then we'd have to monitor the structure to see whether we could get a running flat here. Now, this would mean that we'd still have an additional fifth wave to the upside. What this would then be looking for is actually looking for, like I said, looking for this fourth wave here still. So potential target zones for this, like I said, this previous bit of structure here would be a 50% retracement at this 69478 area. And then at the higher end of this, we have a 0.382 area, which we could look to actually come back into, with that five-wave move. So I would also be keeping an eye out on this bottom of this channel here if we do look to break down. Now, it's possible that we could still be extending up. Now, what do we look for within this is basically looking for the internals of this. So that is actually, I'll discuss this. We're also talking about the potential, if we start to break down deeper, this could actually play out, but we've come up too high. So, this is now off the table. Now, what we could have here is that we could be actually extending out in this fifth, and that's why it doesn't have good structure so far. So primarily what I want to see here is for as long as we hold this zone of this 145,508, what we could actually see here is continuation to the upside where actually this move is extending out. Now, the zone we actually want to hit here is basically this 188471. Now we'd want to move up into this area and then get an additional fourth and a fifth for confirmation. But this is 1, 2, all of this would then become 3. We'd get a fourth and a fifth. Now that support zone is going to be much the same if we do move up into this high here. What we'd be looking at for a fourth wave as a potential support zone. I'm just going to throw this fib on here and we'll just adjust it over here. So we can see here that basically, I'm going to just change this to yellow as well. There we go. So what we would be looking for is basically a retracement into this zone of this 148459 to this 175617. So if we do get a continuation to the upside here, we do move up into this zone of this 216740 to this 197188 area as a additional five-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What we'd then be looking for is a three-wave move back to the downside and then continuation to the upside in a fifth wave. If we start to lose this zone of this 148459 area, basically this would make it less probable that we're going to get a fourth wave playing out, but really invalidation would only be done here at this 120000 area, and that would be this wave one high. Now, if we do have something that is actually extending out in a bigger way, what we could actually do is complete this move to the upside and then have a bigger retracement in a three-wave move, but still actually holding this low. So the key thing is if we do hold this low of this 84100, we can't rule out the idea that we could still continue to see some extension here. Even within these current waves here, there could be some extension which I can't see currently because I don't have all the information available here. We've only got what's on the chart at the moment. So what we do here is we map these out, we see how we react to these key levels here, and then we look for, whether that validates our count or not. Now, basically, in the short term here, if we're looking still for this additional fourth and fifth, we need to hold this zone of this 145508. If we fail to hold that, we need to be cautious because that could then mean that we're actually going to see a deeper retracement here. And then basically, if we cross this zone here of this 122192, that would invalidate this possibility of this being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in that case, it would be more likely to me that actually what we have here is just a corrective move up here, and then we could see that five-wave structure develop to the downside. But like I said, we need to be careful. We have already hit this 2.618 of that wave one. We've got this 0.382 slightly higher here. So, I mean, that would be an interesting zone to keep an eye on if we do push up one more time here. This 0.382 of that wave 1 to 3 is here at this 201333 area. So this could be a zone we actually look to get, some kind of a reaction off of, and then we'd have to see whether we find additional support in a fourth and a fifth. So the key thing in here is if we do get these additional extensions here, what this could then mean is that, we're going to see a bigger move to the downside from that point. Although really, until we actually take this low, what we could just have here is another 1, 2 within the structure, and potentially, this could still be extending out. But we'd have to be careful because we do have that potential then of counting a 5-wave move here, which could mean that we actually get a deeper retracement and look to actually pull back much deeper towards this 53578 to this lower range here of this 26288. If we start to lose this range here of this 26288, basically this becomes less probable that we're going to see continuation to the upside and would indicate that we're starting to see a bigger breakdown at this point. So we'd have to just be a little bit careful about that if we start to lose those zones. But for as long as we do hold this low here of this 15500, what we could see is, continuation to the upside. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. Let me know if you found it useful down in the comment section below. Leave us some feedback. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. As well as that, you'll find affiliate links for both Primex BT and BYBIT down there. Both great exchanges we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. See you in the next one. Take care.